If you were to go to the CSGO FAQ for the Steam Workshop, you will find an entry that goes like this. Question: I made a cool sticker or weapon skin using a picture I found on the internet. Answer: first, that's not a question, it's just copyright infringement. Even if you traced it, changed the colors, or don't think anyone can tell, you don't own it, we can't ship it, it'll get removed, and you might get a workshop community ban. Just don't do this. It's pretty simple, please make your own artwork from scratch. Now, you might think this would be easy to follow, but unfortunately this is the internet, home of the Dunning-Kruger effect. Making stuff from scratch? I'm John Doe 365 on the internet, they're not gonna catch me, I'm way too smart for that. Making artwork from scratch? Who's got time for that? I play smart, not hard, and I play the game to win. So I'm just gonna take someone's artwork and stick it on a skin. I mean, I heard someone on Twitter say copyright law isn't even real, so these copyright freaks can go stuff it. I'm gonna get my artwork accepted, and there's nothing anyone can go— Oh, right. Okay, so a long time ago there was this—
Is that the skin? Is that the one, the doodle, the art that I want? Should I get it?
Picture of a dog and added it to a CSGO skin. The resulting drama produced one of CSGO's most legendary skins, the HOWL. But despite Valve changing the artwork and banning everyone involved in that, people did not learn their lesson. And time again, Valve have been forced to change skins after the artists, who clearly thought they were way too clever to get caught, decided to use other people's artwork in their skins. Some of them were definitely less egregious than others, but the end result was always the same. And this brings us to the present day. You see, after making the community wait a record number of days for a new case, Valve finally dropped the Revolution case, which appears to be something of a belated apology.
By the way, let's get that
full of a bunch of—
Scooter, let's get that fucking Revolution case video up on YouTube ASAP, bro.
But hidden amongst the waifus was something a bit sinister. You see, some people were instantly suspicious of this skin. Maybe it is just anti-weeboo bigotry, but obviously you can't trust those anime girls, and in this case, they may have been onto something, because some people started having a look at some of his other skins, and they started uncovering signs that it might not all be his. In particular, another artist called Danandum did some digging and came up with some pretty serious accusations, in particular claiming two of the waifus had been stolen. One of them apparently started life as a cat girl, and the other one apparently started life as a cat maid. This quickly triggered a response from the Tenaku's artist, who—
I've learned not to straight up. I've thought this person, yes, but strong.
denied that he'd copied anything straight up, and even provided a sketch of the waifu on that M4A4 to prove it, but it wasn't long before she was allegedly tracked down.
The drawing on paper looks the same, trace the hand is not drawn. Now we have the body, mouth, and hair, the eyes shown in the sketch. Damn, dude, this guy traced it?
Down too. And before the dust had even settled from this.
So what the fuck? Everything's copyrighted then?
Another bombshell set of accusations dropped. The new Orp Doodle Law turned out not just to be ripping off the Dragon Law, but also another artist called Vexed, who had not given his permission for it to be used and was filing a DMCA. All of this in the space of 6 hours on Twitter. Now, there's a lot to be said about this situation. Not for the Orp, that guy is just screwed. A quick visual analysis shows it's just a blatant ripping off of someone else's character. DMCA is in, the guy made— DMCA is in, the guy made analysis shows—
What parts are they showing? They're showing— Is this on another, like, whose original art is this? Wow, dude.
It's just a blatant ripping off of someone else's character. DMCA is in, the guy who made it is going to be banned, the design is not sticking around. Enjoy the doodle law while it lasts, guys, because this design is going down for copyright infringement. But the M4A4 is a sticky situation, and some people are much more defensive of the artist involved. I do think the artist genuinely didn't intend to do anything wrong, and if you don't think there's any substance to the allegations, well, Danadum comes off looking like a bit of a jerk.
I gotta see this.
It seems petty. It looks like another artist trying to take down a rival and bashing their art, and in that respect, it's not a surprise there were some very negative responses.
Workshop 4 is in. I mean, it looks similar. This one looks very similar.
To him. So let's look at the very messy merits of this situation. Now, the artist has a clip of him floating around where he says this.
So this is like 100% all my work. Everything. It's hand drawn first on paper and then hand drawn in Illustrator, you know.
However, this is slightly contradicted by this, and maybe this, although this one is definitely a bit more flaky. Now, I think I can explain the contradiction. The original sketches appear to be guides on how to draw anime characters, so the artist may not have necessarily felt that this was infringement, and a lot of people may feel a bit sympathetic here. It's not the most flagrant theft in the world, but there are these ones too. They're a bit more
This looks identical, dude.
yikes. But then these designs also aren't in the game, it's only the M4A4, and that just makes the whole situation even more complicated. So is this skin actually a copyright violation? Well, to be honest, it's not so much a question of whether it's a copyright
What if the original artist doesn't have a copyright on that work? Can they still call it copyright?
violation, it's a question of whether Valve will do anything, and stuff like this probably is enough to get Valve's attention. Sure, it is minor, but if you look back to what happened to the Frontside Misty, that was pretty minor too, and it still got the artist involved banned. But there is the question of whether Valve will act without a DMCA being issued. When Danadum asked them, they said that the original artist could file a DMCA, and in the case of these obscure Japanese stickers, I don't think the artist is likely to issue a DMCA. Valve might still act without one anyway. It's not clear skins like the Chanteco's Fire the Frontside Misty ever had a DMCA issued against them. But it still leaves a massive question mark over whether or not Valve will intervene. Now, on top of that, we've also got the guy's other submissions that are far less safe. And again, there's not much of a precedent here. There's a lot of stolen artwork on the workshop, but those artists don't normally get anything added to the game. And just because Valve ignores it in those cases, doesn't mean they're going to ignore it now. They 100% engage in selective enforcement.
Do I have one of
while
those?
no one knows for sure what Valve will do, if I was the guy who made these skins, I would be feeling very unsafe. Maybe removing them might make him a lot more safe, but it's hard to say. I wouldn't want to be in his position. So that just leaves the question of what Valve will do with these skins, and the answer to that is that they will change the artwork. Contraband skins are cool, contraband skins with a waifu on them are even cooler, but contraband skins also create a bunch of bad incentives, and that is why Valve don't do them anymore. We will simply get new designs. And hey, I'm sure the replacements will look cool, and maybe the 200 and whatever day wait for the case was worth it after all.
Boring. No one gives a fuck about skins. I'm kidding. That's just like that. Oh man.